My name is Alexandra Powell. I am a public information officer and I work at CDCR headquarters in Sacramento. And today we are going to do a Facebook Live Q&A on the Echo Yard. The point of doing this live Q&A is just to share with the public what a non-designated programming facility is like. And we routinely do these. We try to do one every month. We've done them at several prisons now, including Donovan State Prison, Salinas Valley, among others.
I'm Mike Dotson. I'm a public information officer for the Office of Public and Employee Communications for CDCR. I work at headquarters in Sacramento, and I help operate the Facebook Live events. I typically am the one filming a lot of these, so if you see me in an institution with a weird contraption with a phone, a couple of handles, and a microphone set up, that's typically what we're doing. We're either testing or doing a live broadcast. Our Facebook Live events are super cool and they're really important for the department. 2/3 of Americans get their news from social media, so if it's where people are to get information, we need to be there as well. Kind of show transparency. We're not here to invent stories or make any up. We're here just basically to document what's happening. So today for the non-designated program facility, we just want to show what that is, who the people are, what their story is, and how it's impacted the population. We like a 3-person team to do it, and that's how it typically operates. I do a lot of the technical side because I have a background in that a little bit. I've done some stuff with video and photography. I'm a long-time journalist myself, and you have to be sort of a not really specialized in today's modern journalism.
I started the Facebook Lives at CDCR. It was an idea that we had as a communications department about 2 or 3 years ago. And at that time I was handling our social media accounts, which Allie does now. And we had talked about using that tool as a way to be more transparent and to interact with our followers. A lot of companies, a lot of organizations that do Facebook Live have it just be a static thing that they do. They post something and then they never interact with their followers, and we really have a focus on interacting, answering questions, sharing information. And so the thought to do that live was really intriguing. And when we asked our boss, Jeffrey Callison, who runs the communications department for CDCR, if we could do it, he was all for it.
My name is Chrissy. We are live at RJ Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego, and I am having such a good day right now because I'm here with Vern and Woody and Joe and Caesar, and we are here to teach you all about Echo Yard. So for starters, can you guys just explain a little bit about what you're doing with these dogs today?
We're involved in a program called POOCH, which is, stands for Prisoners Overcoming Obstacles and Creating Hope. And in POOCH, we're raising and training service dogs with the mission statement to transform lives. Mm-hmm. And what POOCH is, the lives that POOCH is transforming is autistic children as well as our wounded veterans. And these dogs are ready for graduation.
How old are these dogs?
Vern is going to be 17 months on Tuesday.
And Woody's going to be 19 months.
19 months. And I'm pretty sure before we started, I saw that Vern is bilingual. Can you explain a little bit about what Vern can do?
Well, right now I got him on bilingual in regards to sit. I always tell him sit, siéntate. And the only reason I'm doing that, just to see possibly he might have a Spanish client. So if that's the case, then I'm getting him ready. That's it.
So why do you do this program? What's your reason for involvement?
Well, when I first was introduced to Pooch, I just looked like, wow, after 25 years in prison, I've never had a dog in prison. I had a dog when I was a child. So when I heard that we can be in this program, I was excited. Then I learned what it was about for autistic children, wounded veterans. So I was scared at the time because I was like, I don't want to mess up a dog if this is going to this type of purpose. Well, I had a good cellie of mine who taught me about it and helped me to understand what the purpose is. And what this program has done for me It has helped me to show a lot of love and compassion and training dogs, because that's going to help me in life to talk and intermingle with people.
And Caesar, what will these dogs be able to do by the time they're completely ready to go to their new home?
It just depends on what the client needs. So my previous dog that I had was Belle, and she was a black lab. And that was the first dog that I got, and I trained, finished her off, and she went to a 9-year-old boy named Jackson that was autistic, that had autism. And that was an eye-opening experience for me, from the gangs, the violence and stuff. So when I seen what they can do, it opened my eyes, it opened my heart up back up, and it gave me a chance to feel like a human again. And then just to help someone in need, that really touched my heart.
I'm here with CC3 Garnica, acting CC3, to talk a little bit about Echo Yard and the facility that we're at, and also Mr. Hansen. Thank you guys so much for letting me invade your program. Mr. Garnica, can you talk a little bit about what Echo Yard is and what makes it special?
So Echo Yard is going on 2 years already. What makes it special is that it's its first non-designated programming facility in the state of California. It was an idea that came about, and a lot of people weren't believing in it, right? What it did, it brought inmates that were from the SNY and general population together to program in a facility that offers multiple programs, like you see the Pooch program and multiple other programs that we have here on the facility.
So here at CDCR, we tend to speak in a lot of acronyms. Can you explain what GP, SNY, NDPF, what all that means?
Okay, so NDPF is the non-designated programming facility, is the PF. SNY is the sensitive needs, and GP is your general population inmates. Typically and historically, with CDCR, SNY inmates and GP inmates tend to be separated and not programming together, meaning not being housed, not participating in the same types of programs. Here at RJD, when we started the non-designated programming facility, it all changed historically and culturally in the department. Like I said, people were opposed to it, both on custody side, the public sector, inmates. But as you can see here, it worked out. I mean, the programs that we have here are amazing, and it's been a model, and I think for a lot of different other institutions.
Did he get it right?
That's right.
So, Mr. Hansen, can you explain what is happening in this room right now?
Well, right now, my name is Michael Hansen. I'm one of the OMCP mentors.
And what does that stand for?
That stands for Offender Mentor Certification Program, where we get trained as drug and alcohol counselors, and we work alongside with counselors that come in here on our yard, here on Yard E. We have the Amity Foundation with counselors that are really cool, and they come in and they care so much. Right now we have SUDT, which is the Substance Use Disorder Treatment Program, and we have LTOP, which is the Long-Term Offenders Program, which deals with denial management, victims impact. But just like was mentioned, it was at first the whole idea of this combined yard was, it's never going to work. Don't do that. As mentioned, it works, and there's a lot of changes going on in our groups. There's such a cool hope that this integration and not only that, but with prison reform and these opportunities to earn milestones and get out of prison earlier. The message is, you know what's most important now. And in our groups here in the substance use disorder and the other groups, anger management, family relations, criminal thinking, that it's putting things back in order. At the very beginning, we start with our values cards and putting what's most important back up on top. And we work with success plans. Right now, what they're doing right over there is they're working on the success plan, which is 8 specific steps. And we get individualistic with these steps. How am I going to do it? What do I need to change? So it brings in insight and remorse and prevention. But we have a toolbox where we actually role play not only the behaviors that led up to our crimes, but we role play using new tools, and we're using them in the pods and on the yard.
Awesome.
And I see all that happening even with the integration with all the different populations. These tools work, and there's so much love and giving that people have in these groups to help each other, and I see it spreading with this hope.
It's fantastic.
To get out and do the right thing.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the art?
Well, my name is Jonathan Marvin, and I'm one of the facilitators for the Arts and Corrections. We work closely with the administration and the population to really further rehabilitation through artistic expression. We also have some outside entities that come in, namely Project Paint, that come in from the outside and run some classes. We're in the process working with the administration right now in trying to actually implement some more teaching and training as well as some self-help classes through the artwork, and really just trying to make that connection between the community, both the inside community and the outside community, the rehabilitation, and really just trying to give a voice to it.
Okay, now one of our commenters just said there is no rehabilitation in our prisons. Is that true?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. For years, rehabilitation was in the prison system really was on an individual thing. My background, as far as my time in prison, has been in self-help, and I found that quite a bit of the people that were involved in self-help really had made a decision outside of the groups themselves to rehabilitate themselves. Particularly in art, it really creates this nexus that allows people to take what's inside and bring it out.
That was gonna be my next question. Was we do get a lot of criticisms for some of what we call our innovative programs,
Sure.
these out of the box, why are you raising dogs? Why are you doing art? Can you speak a little bit about the holistic approach to rehab?
Well, absolutely, because by and large, the majority of inmates are going to be our neighbors outside,
Right.
are going to be, the guy that you run into in the supermarket. And to have as much normalcy in prison that reflects the outside community, I think is a really good thing. You want somebody who's more adjusted to being around dogs, people of different, maybe gender identification. I came from the general population background.
So what does that mean?
What that means is that typically in the general population, it's very structured. There's a lot of gang activity. There's a lot of overt racism and a lot of problems. It kind of fosters all the bad attitudes that prison has been known for. Particularly with this facility, it's being a pilot program, it really challenges that. And it says, is that what you're going to use? Are you going to allow that to dictate who you are? Coming into prison, we've been identified with typically the worst thing that could have possibly happened in our lives. And here at this yard, we're saying that we don't want to be identified with that. We actually want to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. These programs, and by and large, this institution and the administration and staff are really part of the solution.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're going to head over to the gym and check out the music program and see what's going on outside. Hello. Here with Lieutenant Farrell, what is your role on Echo Yard?
My role is I supervise here 1 day a week, so I observe the whole facility, make sure all the programs run smoothly, and the inmates get their program, the officers maintain their safety, medical appointments, as well as mental health appointments.
And how do you do that? How do you balance having such an array of rehab programs with the safety and security of the reality that we're in a prison?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but our job as supervisor is to get with the administration, and that way they can provide the support, the training, the proper equipment to be able to handle all the missions that Richard J. Donovan has, specifically Facility E, this non-designated program. So it is a challenge. However, we all work together. The officers are doing a great job with what they're tasked with, doing more with less, and they're making it happen.
What are the expectations of the people who come to serve time here to either to get here in the first place or to stay here and continue their program?
Initially, a lot of people were opposed to it, to include the offenders. However, once word got out, there's a lot of programs here, yoga, Project Paint, the Pooch program. You can see we got some those bicycles that they can ride here, stationary bicycles. So once you hear all the incentives and the programming, it motivates them to want to come out here.
Awesome. So we are going to head to the gym now, and I'm so excited because there's more dogs. We're back with Vern and Woody, and I am here with
Stephanie Santos.
Okay, and what is your role here on Echo Yard?
I am the director of training for Tether Loving Canines Assistance Dogs, and I come here and teach classes for the Pooch program, which is the Prisoners Overcoming Obstacles and Creating Hope.
And what prisons is Tender Loving Canines in?
We're here at RJD. We're also up north at Mule Creek State Prison, and we also have a program at Camp Pendleton at their base brig.
We had a question from Liz. What level is this? We are at a level 2 facility right now. What is involved in training these dogs? How difficult is it to do the job that these gentlemen are doing?
Well, they could answer that best, but these guys, all I can say is that they're doing an amazing job. This is essentially almost like a 24-hour, position for them, where the dogs are housed with them, and they spend all their time and energy raising and training these dogs for service.
How difficult is this job?
This hard.
It's hard.
It is, but then you ease up into it easily. Like at first you have to evolve your whole time around here of training the dog, taking care of the dog, making sure he's fed, he uses the restroom, and then just fill out the training. Do little sessions at a time, and then after that we got there's 3 people on a team. So it's me and 2 other co-trainers. So then we take slots. So then each people have training of 5 hours and give the dog rest.
And do you have these dogs 24/7?
24/7. We have actually 2 crates in our cells for 2 different dogs, and we have to make sure our responsibility is to them 24 hours, 7 days a week. And we do raise them. We let them out of the crates. We feed them. We train them. We make sure all their meals are taken care of. Their hygiene is up to standard, and they become beautiful dogs.
And they are so well behaved, especially with all these distractions today.
Yes.
So you guys are doing a good job.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to head over to the gym. We're going to check out the music program. Warden Potamo, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
This is the warden of RJ Donovan Correctional Facility. If you have any questions for him, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I have a few. How long have you been at RJD?
I've been here, I was appointed back in July 2011.
Okay.
So 7 years.
7 years. And how long have you been at CDCR?
Oh, wow. Let's see. 27 years this coming November. So,
27 years. And has anything changed in those 27 years?
Oh, actually, when I started, it was actually just CDC.
Right.
And now CDCR. So that's definitely been the biggest change, the rehabilitative part of it. So, yeah, huge change.
Our viewer, Alva, has a question that I'll let you answer. What's a non-designated yard? What does that mean?
So typically in the past, they used to have separate yards, sensitive needs yards, mainline guys, GP guys. These are guys that can't get along. So what we've done is we've decided to bring these guys together, and what they've done is they've kind of not recognized prison politics anymore, and they just want to concentrate on just trying to parole and better themselves. So now we brought them together, and it's called a non-designated yard now. So no SNY, no mainline, it's just non-designated. Everybody's here just to program and go home.
What were the challenges in doing that? Because I believe RJ Donovan was the first.
It was actually the first. Pretty challenging. When we first interviewed maybe about 900 guys, we probably got about 30 of them that said, yeah, I'll give it a try. And because they know prison politics are alive and well. And so trying to convince them that everyone that we bring in here that we'll actually interview, and they'll have the same mentality. They just
Prison problem.
Prison. So we interview pretty much. Prison.
It's what happens when we're live.
So we interview pretty much every single one of them, and then we convince them that you come in here, you can allow more privileges in here, and they're going to allow you to program, and that way you can earn your way out of prison a lot sooner. So sure enough, that's what we've done, and so it's been successful.
And then we had another question. What is RJD doing for the life term inmates?
So we have life term programs as well, because we do recognize that, and what we're trying to do is utilize that skill. We have guys in here that have been doing so long periods of time, and I think we don't utilize them to their capacity. I mean, who better to talk to a guy that just comes into prison than the guy that's been doing it for 20 years and is probably going to do another 20. Life Without, a lot of those guys as well. So what we try to do is try to bring them, try to have them be mentors, and so we're working with them on that as well.
And another question, is this the only non-designated yard at RJD?
This is the only non-designated full yard. We do have partial yards now that we're going to a couple buildings on the other facilities. But eventually, I think that's the direction that the department is going, and everything will just be non-designated.
And I know you're busy, so I'll let you get back to work. Last question. What is your philosophy or your vision as a warden when it comes to balancing that rehabilitation with safety aspect?
Well, I think this is the vision. This is actually what we've been working towards, having the non-designated facility and having guys come together. And what we're trying to do is actually get them prepared to reintegrate back into society. And so by doing that, we offer a lot of programs that will divert their attention to other things other than violence. I'm not saying everyone is violent, but that is prison. And what you'll see here in this particular yard, there are so many programs that these guys have, and they focus on. I just finished listening to a group of guys right now playing. It's Behind the Wall Records is what we came up with, a record label. They focus their talents on that. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time. You have an outstanding program happening here. Good, how are you? I'm going to shut up for a second and we can just listen to this great music. That was amazing. I am blown away. That was so great. Hi, how are you?
Great.
Thank you so much. Our viewers were very into that. That was really cool. Can you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about the music program here at RJD?
Sure. My name is Daryl Williams. I'm the music coordinator. This is Melvin Price. Melvin Price Jr. Respects to my dad.
Nice.
I'm a guitar player and the co-coordinator. He's the coordinator and he's the sound equipment engineer.
Your name?
Sammy Provencio. Play bass for several bands.
So we're known as the house band. So what we do is we play for all the guys who represent a band here. So there's country, there's rap, there's R&B, there's Christian music, and us and another individual who's not here right now, we play for all those guys.
It's pretty much a representation from the different genres here on the facility. And we have a platform to where any interested party that's a musician or upcoming or would like to learn how to play.
You'll teach them?
Absolutely. Yes, we will do that. As much as we can, we try to be available to everybody, giving everybody equal opportunity to come in and have their say and have their feel. You know, that's pretty much it, you know. And every time there's a production going on here of any sort, we will come. If we're invited, we'll come and give a performance to the best of our abilities.
So how do you guys feel about answering maybe some hard questions?
Sure.
Can I hit you with some?
Sure.
Okay. So in the comments, we've been getting getting lots of positive comments. We've been getting lots of negative comments about the realities of an integrated facility, GP, SNY. So considering RJD has been doing it the longest, and now the department we're expanding this philosophy really to other institutions, we have people that are saying it can't be done safely. Can you talk about, having been through it, what advice would you give the people who live it
Well,
as we do this?
I've been down 24 years, and I transitioned from the main line over to the S&Y side, um, and I've had no problems. And the opportunity that they've presented us with over here on Echo Facility has been great thus far. There's been no incidents. Everything has been harmonious thus far. And the relationship between staff and the inmate population has been great. It's been great. I mean, they facilitated this, and everything is going as they anticipated. And that's what helps.
What advice would you give to people who are going through this right now, that are going onto these integrated yards?
Or could be contemplating.
Or could be contemplating.
Right. Well, for us that are already here, we welcome them with open arms.
Right.
Sure, absolutely.
For me, a friend, Honore, he gave me some real good advice. So I was on Charlie Yard and I was on Bravo Yard for 15 years. I've been in a little room in a cell. And it was hard to adjust to being in a big room with 5 other personalities, with split personalities, so that turns into 10. And so I was having a hard time not being in my little room. And he told me, he said, in order to go home, you got to give them their stuff back. And it didn't make sense at first. And I said, well, I don't understand that. And he said, you had to give them the main line back, and you had to give them their cell back. You got to give back some of your comforts, and it's a step down, because this is more real to society than that is. On society, when you go get a job, it's not, I want to work here, let me see your paperwork. It's respond like a citizen. And so for me, it was the realization that I have to give them their stuff back. Yeah. I have to give CDCR their stuff back in order to go home. And this is a part of it.
And I can tell you have something important to say. What are your thoughts?
No, for me, I had to make a choice to come over here. I wanted to change my life because of my past criminal activities. I harmed a lot of people. I have a lot of victims out there. I ended up getting a third strike. And I came to a point in my life where I had to change. I had to do something myself. And when this opportunity came up in here on this yard, I knew what I wanted. I wanted recovery. I wanted to be sober. I want to live a different life. I don't want to be in that same rut. This ain't my identity. My identity is in here. Something's in here. I want to know who he is, because I've covered it with so many defects and belief systems that today I finally found out who I am. And I found out that I'm Sammy. I'm not an AKA. I'm not really. I want to be a person to be responsible, have a family, and live out there with the community. Out there, I didn't realize that no one deserves to be a victim. I didn't understand that stealing someone's lawnmower, you're victimizing somebody. Today, I understand that. I understand that doing those things, I hurted people, and I made a big effect to people out there. So I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for this yard. Because this is showing me to be more civil. All those belief systems where I have to get up early in the morning, I have to do burpees, I have to do all these other things. You don't have to do that. So my advice to those who want to come here is that to let go and to find yourself. This is the place to find yourself. You don't have to have nobody on your back. No one have to be. You have to compromise yourself no more.
That's beautiful. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. And we are going to wrap things up with the boss, Warden Padamo. I will let you close this out. You started it. You started this. You were the one who oversaw what was happening here, and I know that you're a voice we rely on as we integrate other facilities throughout the state. What are your thoughts? What advice do you have to everyone involved in this?
I was just fortunate to be assigned here as a warden when this happened, and when they made that decision to start here at Donovan. We were all reluctant as well, not just only the inmate population, but staff as well, because it was something different. So we had to all work together and make sure it's changing. And what you can hear, I can tell you, I'm wearing a suit and I can tell you how it is, but you're really hearing it from the guys here. You know what? You give them the opportunity to prove to themselves that they can do this. We've talked to them and we said, hey man, the reason you're here is because we picked you, your programming, and we understand you want to go home. And the message that these guys have sent, not only here to the state, throughout this entire country, is that if you really are serious about changing, as you heard a couple of the guys say, they can do it, and they're earning their way out, and they're going to be able to go out. So these guys are the icons. These are the guys that are starting to here I'm pretty proud of everybody that they've done here. They're all getting along and they're just going home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank Thank you so much for letting us invade your prison. Thank you all for your beautiful music. Thank you all for everything that you're doing. Change is possible. Rehabilitation is real. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments. We'll be going through them. And if you have any suggestions for other programs that you'd like to see us highlight in our live feeds, we're always looking for ideas. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.